everybody. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to 2018. It is 14 degrees outside right now, and the wind is blowing, and it is very freaking cold. So I came out here to visit all of my chickens and feed them. It's kind of late in the day, but it was so cold this morning, I was just like, I'm going to stay in until it warms up enough to where I can actually go out here and not freeze to death and see them for more than 5 seconds. So if you're wondering about, good morning, Happy New Year. If you're wondering about why there's a Christmas tree in the barn, it's because right there behind where the tree is, if you look, that little shelf right there, that's where my chickens like to roost. And because it's so cold, you know, and the wind in here is kind of, there's not a lot of wind, but it's just really, really cold in here. So I kind of gave them the Christmas tree as a buffer or a blocker. So if you look, you see all the poop. They get up here behind the tree and they snuggle up. And actually, this morning when I came in, one of them was sitting up here on a tree. So I gave them their own little tree. I bet it's going to feel like it. So I'm going to show you what I'm feeding them right now because it's cold and they need extra stuff. So if you look right here, I made this for them this morning and they're all kind of looking at me like, lady, really? It has strawberries and corn and oats and scrambled eggs. It has rosemary and thyme and oregano. And it's basically just everything good for them. And don't mind my dishes. I'm going to carry those out. Brought them nice hot water to melt their ice and also give them something to drink. And they're very appreciative of said thing. If you're wondering what that is some old lettuce. And I stuck a little piece of wire through it to hang it down, and they have literally picked it to death. It gives them something to do. So they're out here. They're all hanging out. Nobody's overly cold. They're a little foofy this morning. It's cold outside. See, it's cold outside. And I don't know what the deal is, but recently they started wanting to hide the eggs. They're crazy. They're crazy. I get my pretty rooster. He's going to be so pretty. I'm so excited. He's such a beautiful boy. Mr. Archimedes. He was like, I'm thirsty, lady. I'm thirsty. But yeah, I just wanted to give you an early morning update on the chickens and to tell everybody Happy New Year. And I'm excited for everybody that this new year is going to be so much in the way of change and excitement. So many things are going to happen this year already. I'm super pumped about it. Obviously, we know this year the conference for the Homesteaders of America will be 2 days instead of just 1 day. And we're going to the beach, which is not something we ever do. This is like only the second time I went to the beach since I've been 13, so I'm super pumped about that. And we find out for 100%. I even told someone this morning on Facebook, like I told this group that I'm in, I was like, you know, I'm okay even if they say, hey, guess what? You got to hide your chickens forever because you can't get your restrictions lifted. That's great, but I just want to have 100% confirmation that this is what we are or are not doing. So that is what my year holds. So I'm going to collect eggs and I'm going back in the house before I freeze. Micah took us off. Do you hear the wind? I don't know if you guys can hear that or not, but the wind is blowing so hard it sounds like it's howling. It's actually taking the bushes on the outside of this building and like slapping it. But yeah, thanks, Lone Star. I'm praying that it's not the case either. I'm praying because if let's talk goals real quick before I go back in. I'll freeze a few minutes longer to tell you this because this kind of thing excites me. So theoretically, let's say that they say that we can have what we want, you know, that we can get animals. So this barn is going to look totally different than what it does right now. This right here, these were all rabbit pens, of course, the thing. That was a rabbit pen, this was, and this was back here. So this is how it will change. Up here, I will actually leave it pinned in like it is, and I will actually make a little entry hole that's wood on the inside of that closest to the wall. I will make a hole with a door and a latch. And this will be where my chickens roost and come in. This will be their tiny coop because obviously, I mean, they're that freaking big. They're this big, like they don't need a lot of space. So I'm going to put them here and let this be their coop. And this will go to an outside run and they'll be able to go outside. It'll be a covered run because even though I have a rooster, These little Old English bantams are typically, and that's another reason why I chose them, not just because of the tinky, but traditionally they're kept indoors inside like little coops or little tiny tractors. You can't let them free range. They will get eaten. You can't let them in an open air run. They will get eaten. Like everything can eat them. It's almost like having quail because they're not much bigger in size. So even with a rooster, that rooster can't protect anything. He can't even protect himself. So I will have a covered run outside of this that they can go out into. I, of course, will leave this for its original purpose, which was if I have a broody mama or babies or anything like that. So that's what that purpose will be. This area right here, I don't know really what I'll do. Probably nothing. I don't know. But this is what I'm going to do in this area. This area right here, my battery's dying. So this area right here has always been a big rabbit pen, but actually this right here, I'm going to turn into a goat pen. This will be the goat pen. So they will have a very large space, and it will be enough to at least house 2 does and a couple of kids. So I'm going to stagger breed goats to where when one's coming out of milk, then the goats, I know they'll jump the pallet. That was the other thing. Even though that they can jump the pallet, if we do this, we're going to put a board that goes from here to the ceiling and then build up the wall. So we will build up the wall, and then the smallest fence will actually be right here on me, and I'm like 5'9", so I will have it to where they can't really get over. I'm gonna build it up, put stall walls. So I've got like a whole plan, but this area is gonna be where my goat pen is. And then over here, I'm gonna use this for my milking area. I'm gonna clean this out, and we'll put a milk stand over here. And of course, I'll use those shelves for things like that. And of course, this is storage. And then this over here, I will probably use as hay storage. So that's the goal. That is the goal. So cross your fingers, toes, and eyes that we find out good news. But otherwise, whether we find out good news, whether we find out bad news, whether we have to continue doing what we're doing, it's all good, because I'll still keep raising the chickens. I'll still keep having the chickens. And if I know that I'm not going to have any goods, I'll have a lot of chickens in here, because now I can breed them by myself. So I'll have chickens in a garden, and I'm still okay with that. I would love to have a dairy animal, but I'm okay with just chickens in a garden for now. So there's the plans. That's my 2018 goals. That's my 2018 plans. So I'm going to head out, go back in the house. Woo! It's bright. The sun is bright, but it's not warm, like not even slightly. So I'm going to go back in the house, and I love you guys. Have a good